Mr. President, Mrs. Obama, thank you very much for being a part of our Thanksgiving special.
It's great to have you, Ron.
A little fireside chat here in the White House.
It feels good.
It does feel good.
Good to have you here at the White House.
Thank you, Mrs. Obama. What does this holiday mean to you, Mr. President?
It's my favorite holiday, partly because it's a time when you get together with family, and when we have schedules like ours, too often you don't get a chance to see the people you love as much as you'd like. And first and foremost, it's always just giving thanks for the health and friendship and companionship of your friends and family.
Tell me about your favorite, first of all, childhood memories for Thanksgiving.
You know, it's always been families gathering. I mean, growing up, I was fortunate enough to live in a community where all my relatives were within miles. There's a lot of food, a lot of laughter, and we try to replicate that here. We invite every cousin and uncle, and
she's got a lot of uncles and a lot of cousins.
Got a lot of folks.
We've got like my little 3 or 4 family members, and then we got 40 of her cousins and uncles.
Yeah.
When I first met Michelle, we used to go over to Uncle Pete's and Gracie's.
He was a taxi driver.
Taxi driver.
Yeah,
always had a toothpick coming out his mouth. Even when he was eating, he always had a toothpick.
Everybody has an uncle like that.
Yeah, but he was cool, and he would barbecue and cook for like hours, you know, and was very particular about his meat.
It looks a little different here.
The White House doesn't have quite the same flavor as Uncle Pete's.
You knew where I was going with that. I was like, so how does that translate here in 1600?
A few people will ask for toothpicks, but they're brought out later.
In a little
with the presidential seal. Exactly. A lot of families, their tradition is they go around the table and say what they're most thankful for. So I ask each of you, what are you most thankful for this year?
I've always got to say my daughters.
They're normal kids.
They're normal kids, but you know, they're growing up just to be smart, kind, funny young ladies. And you know, when your kids are doing well, all the other stuff, you know, really pales in comparison.
How do you instill in your own daughters gratitude?
You know, my girls look at their father and they know, you know, how much he faces every day. They are now old enough to understand the challenges, the criticisms, the complexities of this job. And many times they ask, why are you doing it? You know, but the message that he lives for them is that, you know, we're on this earth to live our lives in the betterment of others. And I think this Thanksgiving time is a time for all of us to reflect on those military Gold Star families who are having dinner without a loved one there. It's easy to get lost in the food and the fellowship, but you know, Thanksgiving is a time for reflection and for service, which is something we do every single year. That's the trade-off for Thanksgiving dinner with our family.
If you want to come
to
here,
the White House,
you got to go with us first.
You got to come do some service.
And do some service with us.
Then you get some food.
Then you get some food.
I'm a military brat. My mother and father would always make sure that we had a service person at our table, somebody who couldn't get home.
Right.
Yeah.
For many people, they have somebody missing at the table.
Yeah. And a lot of times during these holidays, I'll actually make calls to folks who are deployed. We'll just call them up and say thank you. And it's a great idea for every American every day, but especially during the holiday season. You know, you see a service member, you just go up and say thanks. Yeah, we appreciate it, because the sacrifices they make are extraordinary.
And that's really, you know, one of the many messages that hopefully people take away from this conversation is, you know, look around your communities. Ask where the military families are in your communities and find a way to help.
Mr. President, thank you. Mrs. Obama, I think I smell pie.
Oh, I think
that might be
pie.
you want to come down to the kitchen and check it out?
Do you mind?
Let's
Would
go.
love that.
Let's go.
This is where the magic happens.
We go all out on pie.
Pies. Every
We
kind of
don't
pie.
play with pie.
I mean, this is why you work
No,
out every day. and why you
Actually,
eat.
Michelle only eats kale in Thanksgiving. there's kale soup,
That's not
and then there's like a
No, we
kale
have the regular
stuffing.
Between Barack and Chris, they handle the whole dinner.
Canned cranberry with the ridges on it, or is it home?
No,
Oh, come
not
on.
at the White House.
Well, you think it's like old school?
Yeah, old school. Yeah, right. You have the ridges on it.
Yeah.
No,
we don't do that.
no,
No
that's
Jello
not allowed.
molds. We used to have that at Pete's. That was at Uncle Pete's with the toothpick.
Oh, with the toothpick.
Then we'd have that.
Stuffing or mashed potatoes?
Oyster stuffing.
Favorite pie?
Pumpkin for Thanksgiving.
Okay. What's the big Thanksgiving leftover?
Oh, turkey sandwiches.
Turkey sandwich. with light mayo, sliced sweet pickle,
And hot
turkey,
sauce. I like hot sauce.
and some salt and pepper. The proper way to eat your pie, though, is you should have just a little whipped
See,
cream
I don't
on
do
top.
whipped
Also,
This is good, isn't it?
The thing I should say is that I tend to
You're
start
just
back
going
from
for
the
it.
back from the crust.
Which is irritating.
Well, when
you
I'm
know?
taking a bite from you.
That's why we don't share pie.
I
Can
like
you
the crust
imagine
more than
sharing
anything.
your pie with somebody and having them start with the crust?
Do I have to take a small bite because I'm on TV?
That's a big bite.
And that's irritating too if you're sharing pie.
Because he took half the pie.
This
got
is
one
what I'm
bite.
saying, Robin.
That's not sharing.
We don't share anymore.
That's how
She never lets me share dessert.
Because he eats it like that. Look, the crust is gone. Everything that makes a pie delicious is gone in his one bite.
Mr. President, thank you. This is
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.